Hey everybody, welcome back to The Last Continue. As a new father, I totally understand how difficult it is to be able to find some time to be able to play your video games. And I know how difficult it is to be able to do things between diaper changes, feedings, and nap times. So here's a great video game I think you can make some progress in with limited time. And that game is Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, so hear me out. I could sit here and tell you about how amazing the game is, how beautiful the graphics are, and how awesome the fighting scenes are. But there are already a million videos out there talking about this because the game is honestly a masterpiece. It is amazing. I loved every single second playing this game, and I honestly have spent hours just exploring the castle, the grounds, the forest, just exploring every little inch of this map. And if that's all that you do on this video game, I promise you it will be worth it. For those of us Harry Potter fans that love the movies but did not read the books, and don't worry, I'm in the middle of the first book, Sorcerer's Stone. There are a lot of details that we didn't see. There's a lot of information that was held out. And this game actually does give you a lot more details. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find any of this in the book, but just wandering around the castles, you are able to collect something called field guides about just about everything in the castle, like on artwork, certain rooms, certain artifacts. It's pretty awesome. You get to learn so much about the history of Hogwarts and the history about the entire wizarding world. I could really spend my entire free hour just just exploring, just learning about the castle, just learning everything. And I would every single day that I would do that, I would find something new. It is so awesome. Which sometimes on a stressful day, on a very difficult day, that's all we need to be able to walk around and explore and learn and just see some of the amazing things that are happening. I loved spending my stressful days trying to unwind, just seeing all the really amazing things that happen in the castle and enjoying all the crazy things that happen, like the armor throughout the whole castle will sometimes just come to life and just beat each other up. You'll see the ghosts running around the castle. You'll see the artwork that is just kind of interacting with each other, or even sometimes you'll see students getting in trouble, or students experimenting with new spells, or students experimenting with things that they bought at Hogsmeade. It's honestly really really cool. Once you start getting comfortable with your spells and how to be able to defend yourself, I recommend going into the Dark Forest or the Forbidden Forest, however you want to call it. It is so fun. There's so much to see, so many different things to battle, and it's honestly beautiful once you get really really deep. There's, you know, the occasional spider den. There's the occasional goblin, or I can't remember what these things are called, but they're like these gigantic frog things. Those things are hard. Those things are very tough to fight. But once you're able to understand the mechanics of fighting them, it is so easy and you just clear them out so fast. But of course, it takes some time. And if you have the time to take out at least one of the dungeons or one of the treasure vaults or whatever you want to call them, you can easily clear one out within 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The bigger ones can take a little bit more time, maybe like 30 minutes, but still you can clear two of those out within your 1 hour if you have the hour. If you only have 30 minutes, you can just clear out one. You'll get a lot of money. You'll get a lot of clothing items, which those are pretty cool too. And we'll talk about inventory management um, later on in the video. But you get a lot of items, which is pretty good. And if you decide that you don't want to do those dungeons, if you decide that it's become very repetitive, you can do the side missions with your friends that you meet throughout the school. Those missions will take some time. Depending on who it is, they can be very labor intensive. But every single one of them will always be very fun. They will challenge you, you'll see new stuff, some amazing scenery throughout those missions. I really recommend going through these side missions first. I personally focused all of my time playing the main missions and these side quests with my fellow classmates. Everything that I did was able to get me through the game, and I didn't feel the need of having to go through all of the dungeons in order to be able to accomplish the game or to be able to reach the level skill set to use any kind of armor or open up the next mission or even learn new spells. With all that said, me personally, having to come back and only play the game a little bit at a time, not every single day, maybe 2 times or 3 times a week if I was lucky. I honestly had a hard time keeping track of the actual storyline. I knew what was going on. I knew what I had to do next. I knew why I was doing things, but just all the different names and how different they are, and they're unusual names. So I kind of lost track of who was who and why was what and all those things. So if that matters to you, just kind of, I don't know, keep track with a notebook or something to be able to remember, because there are a lot of people in this game to remember. But one of my absolute favorite features of this game is the fact that it autosaves. You never ever have to worry about losing any of your progress. If you had to drop your controller and go tend to whatever's going on in the house, if you ever had to just turn your console off because something's going on and you have to go deal with that now instead of playing your game, um, as soon as you finish talking to somebody or fast traveling or doing whatever, it will autosave your progress, which really comes in handy when it comes to collecting some of these magical beasts. They're scattered throughout the entire map, and you're able to collect them and bring them over to your room of requirement, and you're able to house them there, and that is one of the most amazing parts of this whole game. If you ever needed to de-stress by taking care of a whole bunch of different animals or something, that is the part for you. This is definitely the game for you. Taking care of them, feeding them, playing with them, watching them interact with each other, and even, seeing baby versions of them, that is so beautiful. That is an amazing feature that I applaud whoever decided to put that into this game, because it is awesome. And the better you can take care of them, you are able to receive, like for example, feathers or the hair or whatever. You collect things from the animals, and you're able to weave them into your clothes, and you're able to level everything up. So if you spent the entire hour that you have available trying to find a niffler or trying to find a phoenix or trying to find whatever it is that you're looking for, and you finally found one and you forgot to save and you lost that, oh man, I would be so mad. But thankfully, as soon as you are able to capture that magical beast, the game should autosave. And if I had to give any kind of tips to be able to play this game as fast as possible, I would really recommend to sell all the armor that you can find. You find so much of it scattered throughout this entire game that you can't keep it all. You can't hold on to even 5% of it. So as soon as you get a chance to go into any kind of store or a merchant on the side of the road or inside one of the little towns, sell anything that you do not need. And whatever you decide that you are going to keep, I would try to go back to the room of requirement and see if you can upgrade it with the things that you get from the magical beasts. And majority of the time, you will be super, super stronger than anything that you can buy at the merchants. So I wouldn't even bother wasting my money on that. The next thing that I really recommend you do is once you reach level 5 and you go into upgrading your talents. I believe it's under core, and it's the second option from the right. It gives you the ability to have different combinations of spells without having to individually change the location and which spell that you have on your talent wheel or your little spell wheel, whatever it's called. Get those as fast as possible. There's three of them that you can grab. Two of them is when you reach level 5, and the third one I can't remember, but I really recommend you upgrade and get those because as soon as you're able to have all the different combinations of spells, it's going to save you so much time. Every single time that you have to go into battle, you'll have your favorite spells. If you're going through a dungeon and you have to go through some sort of puzzle situation, you'll need a separate set of spells. So you'll have to go in and change them. And then if for whatever reason you're going through some other situation or where you need a fight or a different kind of puzzle that you need to solve, then you're going to need a third combination of spells. So upgrade these as fast as you can, and then after that, look into the other things. Um, it's going to help you a lot. And my last tip would be with the demiguise. Once you start playing the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's these little monkey-looking things that were in the Incredible Beasts movies. They turn invisible. You'll only be able to see these statues at night, and they're holding like this moon gem thing. Use your map. Use your map to see in what areas there are some available, and it'll tell you 0 out of 1, 0 out of 2, or if you've collected any, say to 1 out of 1. Zoom out of your map as far back as you can, and you'll see all those little markers that will tell you, what you have done and what you have not done in those areas. Use that in order to be able to find those demiguise as fast as possible so that you can collect all the moon gems and go back to Mr. Moon so that you can collect, I believe it's called Alhamora, and be able to unlock all the doors and potentially steal everyone's things out of their houses. I'm pretty sure that's not what they meant it to look like, but if you unlock someone's house, go into it and steal things out of their treasure chests or drawers or whatever they have, locked away, that that kind of constitutes as stealing. But that's what you're able to do, and it gets you into a lot of places at Hogwarts and a lot of places throughout these little dungeons that you have to go through, and it makes the game so much easier. So if you're able to collect those demiguise as fast as possible, I recommend doing it. And my last tip, it's not going to help you get through the game faster, but it is going to make you get through the game easier. If you do have some sort of phobia of spiders, like arachnophobia, or if they just creep you out and you don't want to see them, you can go into the main menu, you can go into settings, and you can turn on something called arachnophobia mode, and it'll basically do kind of like in the movies when they use the spell ridiculous to change something that scared them into something that didn't scare them, and it'll make the spiders just look kind of funny. You'll see when you play it, and that'll help you out a lot. And I hear there's a number two coming out sometime soon. And so, with that, I'm sure you'll be able to find this game pretty cheap. The last time I heard it was on sale on the PlayStation Network, so hopefully it's a little bit less now. And if you're able to get the Dark Arts DLC, it's pretty cool. I liked some of the clothes for a little while. The cloak is pretty awesome, and being able to use the I can't remember what it's called, the horse that you get with it, that is pretty awesome. But I honestly found way better looking armor and clothes in game, and I honestly never even wore the Dark Arts DLC stuff. So do with that as you will. I also recommend If you do want to read the books and you have not read the books, there's a version by Mina Lima and sold by Scholastic or distributed by Scholastic. This book is awesome. I honestly am reading it for my kiddo, and I'm hoping that when he gets a little bit older, that we'll be able to read it together. And it has these amazing artwork inside of it, and there's even some sections that become a pop up. Awesome. I do not regret buying these one bit. Alright, my fellow gamers, I've used up enough of your time today. I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it for you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be awesome to each other, and I'll catch you on the next one.